Welcome to CerebralDecode. You're listening to Office Politics, The Invisible Game, a reflection on the hidden forces shaping modern workplaces. To the professionals who fought silent battles in boardrooms, cubicles, Zoom calls, and hallway whispers, this book is for you. To the ones who worked late, not for praise, but for pride. To those whose ideas were borrowed without credit, whose value was seen only when someone else repeated their point louder. I see you. You're not imagining things, and you're not alone. To the people who lead with courage, play with integrity, and still wonder if they're doing it wrong because they refuse to play dirty, thank you. You are proof that strategy and ethics are not opposites. You are the reason this book exists. To every reader who's felt underestimated, sidelined, or quietly erased despite giving their best, I hope these pages not only validate your experience but offer you tools to reclaim your path forward. I hope they remind you that being good at your job isn't always enough, but being wise about your influence is within your reach. And to the many unsung mentors, co-conspirators, truth-tellers, and friends who helped me understand these lessons, sometimes gently, sometimes through hard reality, your wisdom lives on in these pages. To those who taught me that the real game isn't just about winning, but about changing how it's played, I am forever grateful. This is for the quietly ambitious, the principled strategists, the ones learning to rise without losing themselves. Keep going. The room is bigger than it looks, and your presence matters. This audiobook unfolds across 13 chapters, each one revealing a different face of the invisible game we call office politics. It begins with the illusion of meritocracy, where talent and effort often lose to perception and alignment. Then it moves through the politics of praise, showing how recognition is rarely pure, but deeply strategic. You'll explore how friendships, alliances, and rivalries silently shape decision-making, and how silence itself can become a powerful message in the workplace. The middle chapters uncover the currency of perception, the subtle power of empathy, and the danger of unmanaged ego. Real cases illustrate how people rise, fall, or survive, not because they were right, but because they understood timing, influence, and framing. The later chapters invite deeper reflection on integrity, self-awareness, and emotional control before closing with a self-assessment section, designed to help you see your own position within the political landscape of work. Office politics. The invisible game isn't a guide to manipulation, it's a mirror, one that reveals the system we all live in, whether we choose to play it or not. If this chapter resonates with your experience, take a moment to subscribe, and let's keep decoding together. Prologue: The Invisible Game. Office politics is like gravity. Whether you acknowledge it or not, it shapes your trajectory. Many professionals pride themselves on staying away from politics, believing that hard work alone will pave the way to recognition and advancement. They see politics as dirty, manipulative, and beneath their ethical code. But in reality, politics exists in every team, every meeting, and every leadership decision, often unspoken, yet always influential. The irony is striking. While the word politic evokes discomfort, the people who navigate it skillfully often rise faster and last longer. This isn't because they lie or cheat. It's because they understand the invisible game being played around them. They see how perception, relationships, and timing shape careers more than performance reviews do. They don't just do their job, they do it strategically with awareness. But here's the uncomfortable truth. In the modern workplace, you can be excellent and still be overlooked. You can be loyal and still be excluded. You can follow the rules and still be left behind. Stories like Clara, who watched a louder but less competent peer get promoted, or Daniel, who accidentally triggered his boss's insecurity simply by being competent. These are not exceptions, they're the norm. And then there's the more tragic reality. Professionals like John, who unknowingly walked into a minefield of envy and resistance after being handpicked for a strategic role, only to later find themselves undermined not by performance but by perception. Or Nikola Tesla, a genius whose innovations outpaced his time, but whose legacy suffered during his life simply because he failed to master visibility, alliance building, and narrative control. These stories are not about bad people or corrupt environment. They're about how human psychology works. People fear displacement. They protect their status. They gravitate toward those who make them feel safe, not necessarily those who are best qualified. Power in the workplace is rarely handed to the most competent. It's offered to the most credible in the eyes of those who hold influence. Still, we cling to the myth of the meritocracy because it's clean. It feels just. It absolves us from the discomfort of navigating power dynamic. But believing in pure merit alone is like sailing without understanding the current. No matter how strong your ship is, you will drift aimlessly if you ignore the forces beneath the surface. This book doesn't advocate for manipulation or dishonesty. Instead, it challenges the naive assumption that office politics can be ignored. It argues that integrity and strategy are not opposite, that you can be authentic and still be politically aware, that you can learn to protect yourself without harming others. We will explore real stories, some triumphant, others cautionary. From Nikola Tesla's quiet genius to Ginny Rometty's calibrated presence, from Indra Nui's strategic perception management to Satya Nadella's transformation of meeting culture. Each case reveals the hidden levers of power that too many people miss. You'll read about subtle sabotage, quiet resilience, backroom decisions, and the unspoken criteria that determine who climbs and who stalls. This book is not a manual for manipulation, it is a lens through which to understand the true game being played in modern organizations, not to corrupt yourself, but to defend and elevate yourself. Because in the modern workplace, awareness is not a luxury, it's a survival skill. And refusing to play the game doesn't stop the game from being played around you. It only ensures you're playing it blind. You've reached the end of this chapter. The full ebook, including 13 chapters and a self-assessment workbook, is available on Gumroad. Link in the description. You're listening to Cerebral Decode. Think deeper. Play smarter.